Okay, so this is the video for your next recipe. Either chicken or salmon goujons. You can use any other type of fish you want. I've gone with salmon. Same with the meat. It is nicer when it's done with chicken, but you could maybe change the meat for something else if you wanted to. And we're going to make goujons out of both of these. Now you can do both. You can do one or the other. I'm kind of giving a meat and meat-free alternative here, okay? And as you can see here, I've got my mise en place prepared. Now mise en place means preparing the ingredients before you start cooking. So we haven't got any oven on, anything like that yet. We've got everything laid out ready to go. So I've got my chicken, and for the chicken ones, I'm going to coat them in some mayonnaise. So I've got my mayonnaise here in a bowl, and then I've got Rice Krispies. That's going to be my crunchy coating, and I've cooked this a couple of times before. I've got the recipe off Lisa Faulkner and John Turode. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so it's just mayonnaise and Rice Krispies, okay? I've put a little bit of salt and pepper in the bowl with the Rice Krispies and some dried herbs, but that is it, okay? So you just fill a bowl. There's no exact measurements, okay? I've maybe got about 100, 150 grams, but fill a bowl with Rice Krispies, bowl of mayonnaise, and your chicken. The fish ones are slightly different. You need a couple of extra ingredients for the fish. So once you take the fish out, and we'll prepare the fish in a second, you're going to coat it in some plain flour. And again, I've got maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons there. I'm going to beat that egg. So it's going to go from the flour to the egg and then into the Rice Krispies, okay? And if you are doing both of these recipes, you do need to have separate bowls of Rice Krispies. The ingredients from the chicken should not come over to the ingredients for the fish and vice versa, okay? Because you'll have contamination then of ingredients. So we'll start with the chicken. I'm going to unpack everything. Like I said, I've got my mayo and my Rice Krispies ready. I'll get my tray and I'll show you how to make your chicken goujons first. It's ready to go for the chicken. I've opened up the packet of chicken. I've got chicken strips, so they look more like goujons. If you buy maybe a breast of chicken, you can slice it up into strips, but it is easier if it's already in strips. So I'm going to take the chicken from the packet into the mayonnaise, into the Rice Krispies that have been seasoned, and then straight onto a baking tray with some baking paper, okay? Very important now, as soon as you start handling the chicken, you need to make sure that you don't handle anything else, okay? I've even taken my rings off, you can see there. Nice, clean hands, and as soon as I finish handling all of the chicken, I'm going to wash my hands straight away with hot water and soap, okay? Very important that you do that because you don't want to give anyone food poisoning. So I'll show you once or twice with 1 or 2 strips, and so you can see what you need to do, and then you need to just carry on and use up the whole packet of chicken, okay? So with your hands, here's my strip of chicken going into the mayonnaise. And you can use your hands then to kind of spread the mayonnaise a little bit over the chicken, and then that's going to act as the glue that will stick the Rice Krispies to the chicken then as well. Again, you can cover it over a little bit. Your hands will get a bit messy because you're going to end up with all the sticky bits on your fingers as well, but that's okay. And you just take your piece of chicken and lay it on your baking tray ready for the oven. So I'll show you one more time. Piece of chicken, and don't forget, I'm not touching anything else now, just touching the mayonnaise and the Rice Krispies and the chicken, that is it. So coat your chicken in the mayo. You can go for low fat mayo as well to make it a little bit healthier. But these are going to be baked in the oven, so we're already making them healthier than if you had your normal kind of chicken goujons that are fried. I've got that batter over it. Okay, and you just keep going until you fill up your tray, maybe 2 trays, depending on how much chicken you've got. There they are, my little chicken strips, my little goujons, ready to go in the oven, all being coated with the mayo and the Rice Krispies, so that'll give you a lovely crunchy texture. I just wanted to say, if you've got any Rice Krispies or in fact mayonnaise left over, make sure you put that straight in the bin, and I'm going to do that now. You can't reuse the Rice Krispies, you can't reuse the mayo. It's been obviously used and coated in, or been used to coat, sorry, raw chicken, okay? So get rid of it safely, and always wash your hands straight afterwards, okay? So I'm going to move on now to the fish. So the fish goujons, or actually fish bites, are coming up now, okay? I had my salmon in the packet earlier. I've taken it out, taken the skin off. Okay, you can see a little bit, that's fine to eat, but the actual skin itself you want to remove. And because my pieces of salmon were quite long anyway, I cut them into more of cubes or chunks. They work exactly the same, okay? But again, you want to make sure that you wash your hands and you prepare everything on a board, okay? Fish is still protein. You want to make sure that you're not getting any bacteria on lots of different surfaces, that you keep everything nice and clean. So, piece of fish is going to go in the flour, then in the egg. Now we're replacing the mayonnaise with egg this time, so egg is your binding. In the Rice Krispies onto the baking tray, okay? So I'll do 1 or 2 just to show you. You don't have to use salmon, of course. You can use any other fish, anything you like. I like salmon, some people don't. In the breadcrumbs, stick your fingers again. Okay, get it nicely coated, and then pop it on your baking tray. I'll do 1 more to show you again. In the flour. Pat off any excess, okay? You don't want it too floury. You could use frozen fish for this as well. Just make sure you defrost it first before you use it, but that's another option that might be a little bit cheaper. And on the tray, and I'm just going to keep going until my whole tray gets filled up and I use up all the pieces of fish, and I'll come back. Just finished doing my fish bites or fish goujons. Egg, flour, the Rice Krispies that have been seasoned, okay? That'll give it a little bit extra flavour as well, so don't forget to season. So there's the chicken ones from earlier. These are the fish ones, and they're both going to go in the oven now. 200 fan, I've got my oven on. Please make sure you preheat your oven as well before they go in, and cook them for about 15 to 20 minutes. If you're unsure, obviously cut open, especially the chicken one, cut one open. If it's still pink inside, put it in for another 5 or 10 minutes. But I would say 15-20 minutes is fine. You'll have a nice golden Rice Krispie crumb. And then the fish and the chicken should be nicely cooked inside, okay? You could give them, if you've got one of those low-calorie spray bottles, give it a little spray with that just to help crisp it up a bit. But if you want to keep it nice and healthy, that is still healthy, the low-calorie stuff. They should be able to cook fine without them and crisp up on their own. So I'm excited to see how these turn out. There they are, just come out the oven. I put them in for 20 minutes, 200 fan. So these are the chicken ones. You can see nice golden crispy. I didn't put any oil or anything on them. They just went in as they were. You can see the seasoning as well. And then my lovely golden salmon goujons or bites. So have a go. They're brilliant, hot, straight out the oven. Like I'm going to have mine now. Any leftovers I can put in a wrap or a sandwich or a salad for the next day. Like I said, you don't have to use chicken or salmon. You can use other types of fish or meat, but a healthy version of goujons or bites that you can try with some Rice Krispies. So I hope you have a go at either one or maybe even both of them. Thanks a lot.